22-year-old Joel Julio, Colombian native, came to this country 2 years ago, wowed us with a destructive knockout of Carlos Vilches on Friday Night Fights. And we look at his last 5, and you'll see the big story. It was last June when he suffered his first loss as a pro. Scored a first-round knockout against Carlos Quintana, but then was completely outboxed. So let's flash back to Friday Night Fights this past March 30th in Detroit. Joel was facing the dangerous Thomas Davis, but this time Joel showed a newfound maturity while still dismantling his opponent. He has won 3 straight since that lone loss and feels confident that he is very much still the one to watch.
I felt very comfortable, very loose in my last fight. I felt like I dominated, I did what I had to do, and for tonight, I'm ready to do more of the same. I feel ready. I think I'm ready to fight for the world title. This is my moment. Maybe 1, 2, 3 more fights, but I think I'm ready now. This is my moment, and I will take advantage of it.
Julio is up against Mauro, Lucero, 35 years old, a little bit past his prime, 42-11-1 with 28 knockouts. His last 5 shows a 4-1 record. The one loss to former world champion Vince Phillips. Cool Vince TKO'd Lucero 2 years ago. He's only had 1 fight since then. Referee is Frank Santori, scheduled for 8, but if Julio does his thing, it's not going to go that long.
All right, guys, going very late in the dressing room, have all the instructions. Trunks are here and here. All right, let's keep the blows here or above. Questions? Good luck, guys.
Well, Joe, the 35-year-old Lucero at his best was a lightweight contender who fought for the WBC lightweight title 8.5 years ago. He's basically become an opponent at this weight and age. Never had the greatest chin at lightweight. Now at junior middleweight is very susceptible. As you just said, I would be shocked to see him around too long with who I think is a legitimate talent in Julio.
Joel Julio spent valuable time recently training with Mark Breland and Pernell Whitaker. Nicknamed the Love Child, he is a favorite among the internet chat room hardcore fans. His power displays won over so many fans.
No, I think that he reminds me a little bit, not style-wise, but a little bit as far as career and the way I felt at the time. Julio reminds me of Kasim Umar. When we had Umar coming up and developing on our air early on, he had lost a fight already. I thought that he had a chance not only to become a world champion, as many people thought, it wasn't just me thinking it, but to be a star. He had charisma. He had a certain quality about him. He had talent. He had style. He had a certain confidence, a certain air about him. And I see some of that with Julio. He knows how to fight. Technically, he's got a good base. He has talent. And there's a certain air about him when he gets in that ring. What's going to matter is how he matures and what he finds out about what's inside himself. The outside, I think, is good enough, again, for him to be a future star and a future world champion. We'll find out in time that the inside is up to the task. And a lot of that will have to do with how he behaves and develops off his first loss to Carlos Quintana, where he lost a 12-round decision. Does he mature and does he develop and gain from that, as many good fighters before him and will after him do?
By the way, he weighed 145 pounds that night against Quintana out in Vegas. Tonight he came in at 152 3/4.
Lucero, as we said, much smaller. Most of his career, the best of his career at lightweight. Julio, welterweight and junior middleweight, and only 22 years old, so he's still possibly growing or definitely filling out. But the experience, well, that belongs to Lucero, and that's what he's going to try to use tonight to get rounds. 10 rounds or better 13 times for Lucero. Julio, 10 rounds or better 3 times.
Combination from Julio, and Lucero goes down.
Lucero has been knocked out 8 times in his career.
Julio comes charging in with a straight right hand, trying to headhunt with his opponent against the ropes. Lands a solid right hand, and Lucero Child's 31st win of his career, 29th knockout.
Lucero has been knocked out coming into this fight 6 times in his last 15 fights. Make it 7 times in his last 16 fights.
It was a patient first round by Joel Julio. And then all of a sudden, the combination punch and click, Teddy.
Take another look at that first knockdown. Right uppercut, followed by a left hook, and then a couple of punches that were not consequential, but good combination. And the end of the fight was just a matter of Julio getting his feet in position and getting those hands moving. Again, getting good position, taking care of defense as he pulls back a little bit, anticipates punches coming from Lucero, and then steps forward and puts the finishing touches on a smaller and older Lucero.
As we said, if Julio does his thing, fight would not go the distance. He did his thing. And ring announcer Bob Alexander puts a bow on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Hollywood, referee Frank Santori Jr. stops this bout at 3 minutes of the first round. Your winner by knockout, Joel El Depredador Julio.
First round knockout victory by Joel